What's up, Facebook fam? It is your girl, and guess what? It is Tuesday. And you know what happens on Tuesday? Wife chat goes down here on Facebook, and I am so excited that it's Tuesday. Y'all don't understand. When it's Tuesday, I get so excited because I get a chance to come on here and to pour into you and your marriages. So do me a favor, make sure that you're hitting the share button. Make sure you're hitting up all your one sexy wife friends and saying, guess what? Wife chat is going down here on Facebook. You got to join us. Again, thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Make sure you're hitting the share button and let everybody know that it's Tuesday and wife chat is going down here on Facebook. I'm so excited that it's like I can't wait till Tuesday because I know I get a chance to pour into you guys. And so tonight's chat actually came from some media contacted me, really asking me about Wendy Williams and what was my opinion, being that I deal with wives all the time. And so I want to address that. And I also had a discussion with some of my friends that have survived infidelity. And we just had a great discussion. So this is where this topic came from. And again, I want to say, normally I don't really address a lot of celebrities and all of the things that they're going through because it's very, very difficult when you're living in the public eye. And granted, I am nowhere near where a Wendy Williams is or where a Beyonce is or anything like that. But infidelity is something that is real. It is something that's very hurtful. It is something that can literally make you feel like you're ripping, you're being ripped apart, right? But infidelity is something that you can survive. And so again, thank you guys so much for hopping on here. Make sure you're hitting the share button, telling all the one sexy wives that wife chat is going down here on Facebook. I'm so excited that you decided to join me. And again, we're talking about infidelity. And again, this topic came from, again, some media contacting me about, Gail, what is your take on what Wendy Williams is going through and all those kind of things. And I'm going to address that. And I decided to address that on here with you guys. A few wonderful things that are happening here over in Gail Crowder land. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please start putting your comments in there. Please start interacting. I appreciate you guys so much for getting on. I appreciate you for hitting the share button. And we're going to talk about a topic that is something that we don't like to face as wives, but it happens, like I said, all the time. In marriages, and I get a chance to help women really get past infidelity, and some men as well, because it's just not men cheating, it's women who's cheating as well. And so again, I thank you guys so much for joining me on here for Wife Chat. I wanted to tell you about some exciting things that are going on here that me and my team have been working on. As you guys know, tomorrow, if you're in the DMV area, please honor me by tuning in to Good Day Washington. I will be on there talking about how to keep everything together and live your dreams as a wife, as a woman, with so many things going on. So I would appreciate it if you tune in tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. I will be on channel 7 in the DMV area. And so I appreciate you guys for supporting me on that. Wife Masterclass, yes, is back for the spring. So I really want you guys to join me on April the 11th it'll be for 4 weeks. Every Thursday, I will be coming to you live, me and some other amazing wives that I have gathered to pour into you guys. It is a free online class, but you must register. So just go to my website and look up Wife Masterclass, go under events and look up Masterclass and just register for that. And you'll get a link to where you're going to be joining me starting April the 11th at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. So Wife Masterclass, you don't want to miss it. It's going to be amazing. And of course, guys know that the Ultimate Wife Summit is going down July the 27th in Washington, D.C. It's going to be the biggest wife summit ever. And so I want you guys to join me. And that's also on my website at gailcrowder.com. It's some amazing things going on. Me and my team are getting everything together because we want to get you guys where you want to be in your marriages. So, hello, join us. So again, thank you guys. So everybody, good evening. Thank you so much for joining me. And so let's get into our lesson tonight. Can your marriage survive infidelity? And the answer to me is absolutely yes. But let me give you some statistics, and let me just tell you that my take on what's going on with Wendy Williams, right? Because again, I have literally been inundated been called by some major networks. I have been called, called by some radio stations and those kind of things. And let me just tell you my take on Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams is a public figure, right? And as a public figure, you open yourself up to other people being in your life and in your business. My thing with Wendy Williams is that every day she goes on and she dishes out other people's personal business. She has her opinion, and that's what she get paid millions to do. With this situation with her marriage and her husband and those kind of things, I think that with her being a public figure, she needs to write her own story. She needs to come out and just be honest and say, yes, my husband cheated on me. Yes, he has fathered another child. And yes, I am struggling with this because I'm a woman. I'm human. I just happen to live my life in the public eye. And yes, I'm falling apart. And yes, it hurts. But trying to hide it and trying to act like nothing is going on, she is literally making herself sick. And so I send nothing but love. I send nothing but prayers, because being and understanding what infidelity can do in a marriage is very, very difficult. And it's fixable, but you can't lie to yourself. You can't stick your head in the sand and act like it's not existing. You can't show up and keep dishing out stuff about other people and their businesses and act like you don't have a personal life as well. So my thing for Wendy and my opinion on it is, if she chooses to stay with her husband, she needs to acknowledge that it happened. She needs to get herself together, and it's okay for her to grieve. It's okay for her to cry. It's okay for her to be mad and all of those things, because those are real emotions. Because when a infidelity or a breach of trust has happened in a marriage, it is not easy. It is not easy. It's very difficult, but it is fixable, and you can get past it, right? And I have gotten past it, and also I've helped hundreds, and I'm not being funny, hundreds of women. I was sitting here thinking about, I have literally helped 120 couples get past infidelity. It is fixable, but it takes two. So let me just give you guys some stuff, some statistics, and some ways that if you have faced infidelity, or you want to try to avoid infidelity, let me give you some tools and strategies that I know work. But also you gotta have two people willing to work at it. And like I said, you have to acknowledge it. So look, 55% of married men have cheated, and have cheated more than one time. That is statistics. I'm not making it up, and I'm not saying that your husband has cheated. But what I'm saying is 55% of men have cheated more than once. And that is either physical or had an emotional affair. Either physical or emotional affair. And it is one and the same, okay? Physical, of course, is having sex or intercourse or whatever that is. But also being emotionally attached to someone can be just as bad as the physical. Okay, so 55% of men, okay, 50% of women have committed adultery, whether it's a physical or a mental, at least one time in their marriage, right? And most women are emotionally cheaters than they are physical cheaters. Okay, there are two reasons why most men cheat. Okay. These are the main reasons. It's not all the reasons, but these are the main reasons. First, being unsexually satisfied in the marriage. And two, being not attracted to their wives. And actually there's three. And the third thing is not feeling like they are appreciated in the marriage. Okay, so there's three reasons. First, sexually unsatisfied. Second, not attracted to their wife. And third, not being appreciated in the marriage. Okay, and these are things that, and this is the reason why I do the work that I do. That's the reason why I created Bring It Sexy Back to the Marriage, because I understand what it is to be in a situation where I feel, like, okay, is my husband sexually attracted to me? Am I doing everything that I need to do? And let me just tell you, there's some women who were putting it down in the bedroom, that keep their bodies banging, and they build their husbands up and they still cheat. That is just that guy. And unfortunately that's what happened. So I'm not saying everything is, if this is 100% for everybody. What I'm saying is the statistic says that the reason why 55% of married men have cheated more than one time in their marriage is because of those three things. Now for women, 50% of us will cheat at least one, and we do more emotional than we do physical. Okay, I just want to make sure that you understand that. And it's because we don't feel emotionally attached, and we don't feel emotionally appreciated. We don't feel appreciated, and we don't feel that our spouses make us feel special, and that they appreciate everything that we're doing. And so we either emotionally cheat or we do physical. But I will tell you, we do more emotionally, because if a man is telling you you're beautiful, you're smart, all of those things that you're not getting in your marriage, then it becomes emotional. Okay, let's look at that. Okay, 70% of marriages, which is a good thing, can survive infidelity. 70% of marriages do survive infidelity. So that's a good thing. So we should applaud that that marriages as a whole can survive infidelity. Okay, let's look at where most people begin either an emotional or a physical affair. Okay, so 20% of affairs, emotionally or physically, begin with someone at work. 20%. 18% begin in a social setting, right? And you could be going out, dancing or something, and they spot eyes or you spot eyes, and then it goes from there. So in a social setting. 40%, this is a high number. 40% begins on some form of social media, because you are able to connect with more people and more, at a quicker time frame, as far as, okay, let me see what my old, boyfriend doing, or how he looks now, or how, she looks now. All you got to do is look on Facebook, or remember their last name or their maiden name, and you could probably find them on here, right? And it could just start with, hey, how are you doing? And it could progress from there. Okay, so 40%, that's a large number of people beginning either emotional and ending up in a physical affair on social media. Okay, 4% is in your inner circle. And what do I mean by your inner circle? If you have really close friends, and you have a single girlfriend or a single boyfriend, and they're coming to your social settings, or it could be a husband and wife thing. I've seen that happen as well. 4% happens in your own circle, social circle, where your spouse commits adultery, or you commit adultery with somebody that they know and that they have interacted with. Okay, and then 18% is other. 18% can be you in the grocery store, or wherever that is. It could be somewhere else. Okay, so let's look at how you can literally start to repair if you are in a situation where you have dealt with infidelity, or you dealing with infidelity, or you want to know the signs of infidelity, the first thing is, and I'm looking and I'm hoping that maybe this will get to Wendy Williams. I don't know. But anyway, the first thing is if you have committed or you are experiencing infidelity, you need to acknowledge it. Don't act like it's not existing. Acknowledge it. And you need to acknowledge it before someone else writes your story or tells your story. So if you're the one who cheated, you need to go to your spouse, right? If he has cheated and he has not said anything to you, and you have concrete proof, not what you feel, not what you drawn out the air, not what you heard, none of those things. But if you have concrete proof, and the reason why I said you have to be very careful when you are hearing stuff from other people, because you don't understand the motive of why they're telling you this, right? And so you have to, you should go to your spouse and say, I have X, Y, and Z, because you never want to accuse somebody of doing something that they did not do. And that can open up doors that you will not ever be able to close, because you're, questioning their integrity and all of these different kind of things. Okay. So that's the first thing. The second thing is open up your heart for forgiveness and to be forgiven, right? And sometimes this is very hard, and it's not going to happen overnight. The recovery from infidelity can take anywhere from 6 months to 2 years. And I'm just telling you because I've worked with people and I've had to work with them that long, 2 years, right? The quickest has been 6 months, right? And the thing is, you forgive, but you will never forget. And I understand that. You will forgive, but you will never forget. But you have to open your heart. If you really want your marriage to survive, you have to open your heart to forgive, right? If it happened to you, or to be forgiven, right? Because you can't carry it around. If you're the one who committed the act in your marriage, you have to be open to be forgiven, and you have to forgive yourself. Okay? If you know in your heart you made a mistake, you have to allow yourself to be forgiven, right? And you have to forgive yourself, right? And number 3, you need to seek help. Actually, that's number 4. You need to seek help. Seeking help can save your marriage. It's obvious that something broke down, communication, whatever it was, broke down in order for you or your spouse to stray. So something happened. You wasn't aware of the signs. You was too busy. He was too busy. Whatever it was, you was not getting something in the relationship, or he was not getting something in the relationship that you missed or he missed, and we're human. But you need to seek a professional help, that somebody that is going to remain neutral, but also understands how to help you get past these stumbling blocks and repair your marriage, if that is something you want to do. And I'm going to speak on this. It takes 2 people to want to repair the marriage. It can't be one. It takes 2. It has to take 2 people that are willing to forgive, be forgiven, and to move forward. You can't do it alone. You can't do it alone. You can seek help to help you through it alone, but it takes 2 people to repair and to move forward. Period, point blank. You can't fix it by yourself. He can't fix it by himself, right? But it takes 2. Number 5, you need to set realistic boundaries that you both can adhere to. Because whenever trust is broken, you have to set boundaries in order to make sure that you guys are both being held accountable, so that incident does not happen again, right? I'm not saying you have to become a detective and become straight crazy, but you have to set some boundaries and say, this is what I consider, or these are my triggers, or whatever it is to make you feel uncomfortable. If you're the person that was cheated on, or if you're the person who was the person that cheated, you need to set boundaries and say, listen, These are the boundaries I'm going to set, and please help me adhere to them, because I don't want you to feel uncomfortable in this relationship anymore, right? And so if you don't set those boundaries, your mind is always going to wonder. You're going to always have these things going on in your head. You're going to always be accusing somebody of something unless you have those clear-cut boundaries. That's why it's so important for you to seek help and not try to do it on your own. And the last thing is, don't keep reliving the incident. If you have decided to stay in your marriage, and you have decided to work on it, and you have decided to forgive, you have decided that this is going to work and I'm going to work at it, stop reliving the incident. I did not say forget. I said stop reliving the incident and keep bringing it up, keep bringing it up. And every time that you get in intense fellowship or argument, or however you want to put it, you keep bringing up that incident. If you decided to stay, you need to put a period behind it, not a comma, and you need to move forward. Are you going to have bad days? Yes. Are you going to break down? Absolutely. But you need to be able to communicate and say, this is where I am and this is how I'm feeling, right? And not just start, accusing somebody of something because that's the way you're feeling that day. It's a difference between having a conversation and keep reliving and keep bringing it up and keep making yourself sick and making yourself cry and all of those different kind of things. All right. And so I hope this has been helpful for you. And I just want you to know there is hope. There is healing. There's restoration. There's all of those things. If you have two willing people who are willing to acknowledge that a breach has been broken in their marriage, and that you love one another and you want to make it work. And I say to Wendy Williams, you have to acknowledge what is going on. You have to seek help, and help is not in a bottle. It's not in drugs. It's not in any of those things. Help can be sought on your knees, seeking Jesus Christ for your healing and for your way. All right. And so again, I thank you guys. Let me put on my readers, and I thank you guys that you're going to be joining me tomorrow as I'm going to be on Good Morning Washington. Hey everybody. Hi, hey. Hi Sabrina. Hi love. Hi Diane. How are you guys? All right. Good evening, Tamara. How are you? I thank you guys so much for hopping on here. And again, just know that I go back and I read every single one of your comments. I will answer any questions that you have. And again, if you have not registered for Wife Masterclass, please go to my website under events and register. I would love to have you guys starting on April the 11th, which is a Thursday at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. I will be pouring into you guys, and I have two amazing other wives that's going to come to you guys on a particular Thursday to pour into you. I have the great, amazing Sonia J. Wells and the amazing Kiki Ramsey that's going to be joining us in Masterclass this season. And so I'm excited about that. And then, of course, I have the Ultimate Wives Summit that is going to be off the chain. So, again, I love you guys to pieces. I will see you guys. Please join me tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. on Channel 7 here in the DMV area for Good Morning Washington. I love you guys to pieces, and thank you so much for joining me here on Wife Chat. If there's a topic that you want me to talk about, hit me up in my personal mail, send me a personal mail, say, Gail, talk about this, and I will make sure that I bring it to you here on Wife Chat. I love you guys. Have an amazing night.